So let's take a look at a locked loop stitch and a basic loop stitch. If I was to recommend anything, choose to do the locked loop stitch. So what we have here is the ones on the outside here are locked, and this one here is a basic. So do you see how it's standing out better? Visually it's just better. But what you're going to notice is that the base of the locked actually locks onto itself, so it doesn't want to come out. So in the future tutorial that I have, I actually did the wrong stitch. So I did the basic loop stitch. Do you see how the base comes out of two different areas? This allows it to slide. So if I pull on it, it will literally collapse the one loop in order to make room for another. So they drastically affect each other when they pull. So for example, say you're having an afghan and you're gonna pull it and it's gonna stretch on its own as you drape it over a sofa. Because it's not locked, these things have a tendency to be able to slide out of position and literally can create a hole in your project. The locked ones here don't. They can't go anywhere because they're completely locked at the base. So let me show you how to do this. Just as a recap, the loop stitch can only be done while you're looking at the back of the project because the loops happen on the opposite side. So let's just pretend, and I'm gonna show you the difference between the two stitches just so that you understand. So I'm just gonna chain up one and single crochet in the first. So the basic loop stitch is that you were just gonna go into the stitch like this, and you put the hook between your finger right here and grab it and then pull through the stitch, and then yarning over, pulling it through the two, and the size of your finger pretty much judges that. So that's a basics, and I'll do it one more time. So in and then around your finger and then finish it. So when you turn it around, you'll see this happening on this side. So it looks like it's gonna be okay, but in the future I regret it that I did a whole project like this. So what I have here is that when you look at it, you see that they're not coming out of the same spot, and therefore they can affect each other. So let's just single crochet the next one, and I'll show you the locked one, which I would highly recommend. So the locked version is that you go in, but instead of just going in between your fingers and grabbing it through, you want to rotate the hook over top of this strand here and then grab it and then pull through. And what this is doing is it's causing a twist at the bottom, and then you're gonna yarn over and then pull through two to finish. And I'll show you that again. And so you can see that it originates now out of the base of the same section where the other one, do you see how it's completely different? So let's try again. So just going in, so put the hook over top of that strand first, and then go between your finger to pull through, and then pull that through the stitch, and then yarning over and pulling it through to finish. Okay, so in, around, sorry, that's a basic. So over top first and then pull through and then pull through the two. So the loop stitch then happens in the back. So can you tell the difference between the locked and the basic? See, the locked wants to sit up front and upright, where the basic over here wants to droop down, and you can see that it really doesn't have a good footing. So that's the difference between the lock stitch, the lock loop stitch, and the basic loop stitch. Choose to do the locked. It's gonna be making your project, and if you're gonna put the effort, you might as well just rotate it around. So remember that you can never do the loop stitch to come on the front side of the work. You always have to do it looking at the back of the project so that the loops pop out towards the front of the project. So I'll see you and have a great day.